I now call order the special session meeting of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs on Monday, September 23rd, 2013 at 6:30. Roll call.
Mayor Archie.
Here.
Vice Mayor Slattery. Here. Commissioner Larson.
Here.
Commissioner Tarpon.
Here.
Commissioner Banner.
Here. Just as a reminder, the purpose of tonight's meeting is to get input from the public regarding the fiscal 2013 through the 2014 budget. Item number 1 is Resolution 2013-35, adopting the millage rate for tax year 2013.
Resolution 2013-35, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, adopting the final millage rate for tax year 2013. Whereas a final public hearing was held on September 23, 2013 at 6:30 p.m. to adopt the final millage rate. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, that 1, the ad valorem millage rate for tax year 2013 of the City of Tarpon Springs is hereby established at 5.4500, a 0.63% increase over the rollback rate of 5.4161. 2, the city staff is hereby directed to notify all pertinent governmental agencies of the provisions hereof as required by law. That's Resolution 2013-35 in full.
We'll ask Ms. Walker if she'd come and just review the procedures as were required by state law.
We are required at the public hearing to follow the following order, and this is per Florida Statute 200-065. The first thing we're supposed to do is have a discussion of the percentage increase in the millage over the rollback rate necessary to fund the budget, if applicable, and to give specific purposes for which the ad valorem revenues were being increased, including public comment and questions. The next item would be public comments, then the reading in full of the resolution, adopting the final millage rate, a motion adopting the millage rate, an amendment to the final budget, if any, then the reading in full of the resolution adopting the final budget, and a motion adopting the final budget. The 0.63% increase over the rollback rate is to fund expected increases in electric rates.
Thank you. We've already read the resolution. Are there any public comments on this item? Are there any public comments on this item?
Good evening. Tim Kafalos, 205 Leafwood Road, Tarpon Springs. Tonight you'll be deciding one of the most important issues that comes before this commission, property taxes. I want to first say that I support Mr. LaCourse. He has to walk a tightrope each day without a net, balancing all the factions of Tarpon Springs, and he serves this commission well. I also support the employee raises that are anticipated and feel they are important for morale. I do not support a tax increase of any nature at this time. I've read Mr. Peters' letter to the editor in the Tampa Bay Times, Hold the Outrage, Do the Research, September 22nd, but no matter how you slice it, no matter how you state it, anytime the city collects more taxes from us, it is a tax increase. I suggest we do not need a tax increase to cover the increased costs. By an interim audit report a few months ago, the city was declared to be in excellent financial condition with reserves in excess of $10 million, which is about $6 million more than required under the city's charter and self-imposed requirement, which in a few months will expand by about another $1 million from the sale of a property. Reserves are so good that this commission allocated $25,000 for fireworks in July. No matter how you cut it, spice it, or state it, this will be a tax increase. A major portion of the properties sold are being bought by investors, which means they will be rented for now, been placed back on the market. This increase will negatively affect the values of homes in Tarpon Springs. As you recall, I was a candidate in the past two city elections. In one election, I ran against Commissioner Slattery, Vice Mayor Slattery, and more recently against now-seated Commissioner Banther. During the debates, the issue of taxes was brought up, and repeatedly we were all unified in no tax increases, and in two cases, candidates wanted to lower them because they were already too high. I now call on them to stick to their word and vote to reduce the taxes to reflect dollars that will be collected, not just tax rates. In addition, I want to address why so many people oppose tax increases and salary increases, as we saw in the letters to the editor of recent. We want to see our taxes not wasted on issues like buying closed mobile home parks that cost taxpayers in excess of $60,000 to study the viability of such purchase. We want to see city employees fixing things once, such as a sidewalk in front of my last home that had to be removed twice because it was built too high, or a deck at Sunset Beach that had to be repaired because the slats were placed too close together and dangerously humped in the middle, or a water meter put in that leaks on both ends of the connection. We want to see our hard-earned tax dollars used wisely, frugally, and with thoughtfulness. I am not suggesting that all projects are that way, but these are issues I personally witnessed, and yes, I have witnessed more. But what I am stating, we the taxpayers want our tax dollars used wisely. No hocus pocus that the rate is not going up, but tax rates adjusted to, we want the tax rates adjusted to hold the line on dollars. If you have to balance with the reserves, you have excess reserves of about $6 million to do so with. In closing, I wish to point out Pinellas County, with a budget of nearly $2 billion, currently has reserves of $10 million. And the city of Tarpon Springs, with a budget of about $22 million, has reserves of the same amount. Don't try to balance the budgets on the backs of taxpayers. You have the authority and the ability to use a portion of these reserves to keep the dollars we all pay from increasing. And again, you can call it what you want, Mr. Peters, but it is a tax increase if I have to pay a penny more than I did last year. This is a very critical year for Tarpon Springs, and raising taxes will negatively affect real estate values. Remember, you have reserves in excess of $10 million, while you're only required to have about $4.5 million. I am not suggesting you recklessly spend it. I am suggesting you use a portion of those reserves instead of further burdening taxpayers at such a critical time. Or should we begin to ask, what are you saving that $6 million plus for? Is there an agenda for its use? It would be reckless to not hold the line on tax dollars at this time. Thank you. Excuse me. Good evening, Marty.
Marty Peters, 1702 Heritage Oaks Court, Tarpon Springs. I'm chair of the Budget Advisory Committee, but let me speak as an individual since I was mentioned by the last speaker. And some of it, I think, carries over to what the Budget Advisory Committee is thinking, and I think I've expressed that to you before, so I think you'll be able to distinguish where I'm speaking for myself and where it's not only me, but the Budget Advisory Committee, too. One of the things that we talked about in our meetings involved the reserves, and the reserves are pretty good right now. I'll grant you that. And one of the reasons why we decided not to take more out of the reserves is because we had a study a few years ago, and we're continuing to take more and more out of reserves. We've managed to slow it down a little bit because of the economy, and it seems to be improving. But the type of thinking that says, I support the raises for the employees, this is a good thing to do, and I support doing this, and I support doing that, and don't raise my taxes or cut my taxes, sounds like the type of thing we're hearing out of Washington, D.C., where the people in Congress are now on the verge of shutting down the government, or perhaps a little bit later defaulting on the bills that they already charged. I don't think Tarpon Springs should operate that way. I think in general our Budget Advisory Committee doesn't feel that Tarpon Springs should operate that way. I think one of the good things that this commission has done and the city has done over the years of the recession, of the Great Recession, is they've tried to take a balance and remain somewhat consistent and stable. And we've done a hell of a lot better job than they have in Washington, quite honestly, if you take a look at the final results. The reason we decided not to go into the reserves this time is because of that very uncertainty in Washington and where the economy is headed. The total amount you're talking about, by the way, boils down to approximately $5 on average for the average homeowner, for the average amount of the average median home, whatever it is. I got my tax bill, for example, and mine was $5 more. And I'm willing to put that in this year rather than to start playing games for that minuscule amount, because I know that makes us more secure in the future. And definitely, if the economy takes off next year, which we're all hoping it does, and we don't get it derailed by the antics in Washington, then next year would be a real good time to take a look at readjusting the budget and looking at reducing the tax rate. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no other public comments, Chair will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Are there any commission comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Banther?
Yes.
Commissioner Terrapini?
Yes.
Commissioner Larson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Slattery?
Yes.
Mayor Archie?
Yes. Item number 2 is Resolution 2013-36, adopting the final budget for fiscal year 2013-2014.
Resolution 2013-36, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, adopting the final budget for fiscal year 2013-2014. Whereas a public hearing was held on September 23, 2013 at 6:30 p.m. to adopt the final budget. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, that 1, the City of Tarpon Springs annual budget for fiscal year 2013-2014 is hereby finally adopted. 2, the city staff is hereby directed to notify all pertinent governmental agencies of the provisions hereof as required by law. So Resolution 2013-36 in full.
Thank you. Are there any public comments in this item? Seeing none, Chair will entertain a motion.
Move for approval. Second.
Any commission comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Banther?
Yes.
Commissioner Terrapini?
Yes.
Commissioner Larson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Slattery?
Yes.
Mayor Archie?
Yes. That concludes the special session, and we'll adjourn it at 6:42. We'll now go to the Community Development Agency meeting. I now call to order the Community Redevelopment Agency meeting of the City of Tarpon Springs on Monday, September 23rd, 2013 at 6:43. Roll call.
Chair Archie?
Here.
Vice Chair Slattery?
Here.
Commissioner Larson?
Here.
Commissioner Terrapini?
Here.
Commissioner Banther?
Here.
Item number 1 is Resolution 2013-02, adopting the final budget for fiscal year 2013-2014.
Resolution 2013-02, a resolution of the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, adopting the final budget for fiscal year 2013-2014. Whereas a public hearing was held on September 23, 2013 at 6:30 p.m. to adopt a final budget. Now therefore be it resolved by the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, that Section 1, the Community Redevelopment Agency's annual budget for fiscal year 2013-2014 is hereby finally adopted. Section 2, the city staff is hereby directed to notify all pertinent governmental agencies of the provisions hereof as required by law. It's Resolution 2013-02 in full.
Are there any public comments on this item? Chair will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Banther?
Yes.
Commissioner Terrapini?
Yes.
Commissioner Larson?
Yes.
Vice Chair Slattery?
Yes.
Chair Archie?
Yes. That concludes the CRA agenda, and we will adjourn it at 6:44. We'll go to our special session meeting. I will now call to order the special session meeting of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs on Monday, September 23rd, 2013 at 6:45. Roll call.
Mayor Archie,
Here.
Vice Mayor Slattery.
Here.
Commissioner Larson,
Here.
Commissioner Terrapini.
Here.
Commissioner Banther.
Here.
Item number 1 is Resolution 2013-46, proposing the Bigger Waters Flood Insurance Reform Act of 2012.
Resolution 2013-46, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, opposing and urging amendment or repeal of the Bigger Waters Flood Insurance Reform Act of 2012. Resolution 2013-46 by title only.
Thank you. I don't know if anyone has any comments. I thank, staff for bringing this forward and for the, commission approving it being brought forward. We know the importance of this resolution, but also, what's happening as far as this supposed reform act of, Biggers Waters flood insurance and the effect that it could have if it's enacted. So, with that, I don't know if there's Commissioner Tarpon.
Thank you. I just wanted to thank everyone involved in trying to schedule the special session for us tonight and take care of this resolution. And with that, I move approval of Resolution 2013-46.
Second.
Are there any public comments regarding this item? Then go to roll call.
Commissioner Banther.
Yes.
Commissioner Terrapini.
Yes.
Commissioner Larson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Slattery.
Yes.
Mayor Archie.
Yes. Hopefully with this resolution, governor would maybe take a more active role as far as in helping the citizens of Florida in this dilemma. So, with that, we'll go to staff comments. Is the chief here? City attorney?
No comments.
Madam Clerk?
Comments.
I forgot to, you don't have anything left in there? Commissioner Tarpani?
No comments, sir.
Vice Mayor?
No comments.
Commissioner Banther?
No comments.
Mr. Lawson?
No comments.
My only comments is just to thank our own Tarpon Springs Police Department, as well as the other law enforcement agencies from Clearwater, the County Sheriff's Department, FDLE, for the work that was done in arresting a suspect in the horrific act that was perpetrated in terms of murdering the homeless individuals and attempting to kill another one. And I just want to tell them that we definitely appreciate everything that was done and the good police work, and hopefully people understand that when you're trying to solve a case of this magnitude, it's not like on TV where, within an hour, the suspect is brought to justice, but it takes time and effort to do that. But I think that the citizens of Tarpon definitely appreciate it and feel a little safer now with the arrest. So, with that, we will adjourn this meeting at 6:48.